Hey guys, before we get into the video, I want to let you know I'm doing commissions now. That's right, that means I'm doing drawings for you. If you guys want me to do a drawing for you, like you and Timmy Turner granting somebody a wish, or you and Danny Phantom fighting like 10 ghosts, or maybe drawing one of your characters, anything else, a Marvel character, any comic book character of any kind, anything you want me to draw, let me know, and just click the link down below in the description. That's right, doing drawings for you.
Everyone down in Hawkins liked Christmas a lot, but the Grinch, who lived in the Upside Down, did not. The Grinch hated Christmas. He had no good reason, and the fact that this show got a whole second season, it was time that the Grinch went into their place and spread Christmas cheer all over their face. Only one thing, how to get there from here. The dimensions were separate. A path wasn't clear. He pushed on their wall and just couldn't get through. Then he had an idea. He knew just what to do. His demidog Max, he dressed up like a deer, and he cut a big gash like a Christmas tree shear. He stepped into Hawkins that cold Christmas Eve, and he took all their gifts and was ready to leave when he heard a small sound, and he turned round to see little Cindy Lou Levin, who was no more than 3. Why, hello, my dear.
Whoa, Heart fans, hold on for a second. I gotta tell you about the sponsor for today's video. It is Swagbucks. That's right, Swagbucks is very awesome. They are an amazing company where you can earn extra money by taking online surveys, playing games, and shopping online. Things you would do anyway. I've even tried it myself. It is really cool. I earn rewards all the time. I get myself a Starbucks card. I get myself a card to Walmart. So, places that I shop at normally. Really cool rewards just by using Swagbucks. It's really, really cool. You guys can try it as well. Get $5. Get a $5 bonus right now if you go down to the link in the description below and tell them that Uncle Butch sent you, And you know what? Get a Starbucks card. It'd be really, really cool. And when you're getting the Starbucks card, remember that I told you about it. Maybe you want to, I don't know, send me the Starbucks card. Do it. My favorite thing at Starbucks is normally the bathroom, because I have to, I'm usually driving and I run to the bathroom real quick. Then I get my Starbucks stuff.
That's too much information.
All right, guys, thanks so much. Swagbucks, you rock. Back to the awesomeness. Yes, Stranger Things, Grinch. What'd you guys think? I thought it was a lot of fun. I actually storyboarded that and wrote it and did the voice for it. That was me doing the Boris Karloff narration. Also, I storyboarded that whole thing on my iPad Pro with the Procreate program. And no, Apple is not sponsoring this video. Wish they were, but they're not. They're not sponsoring it. Neither are the Procreate people. I just love drawing on the Procreate program on my iPad Pro. I've got my little Apple Pencil here. So here's some of the storyboards that I did, storyboard panels that I did, and they're bigger than my normal storyboard panels that I do, but in this case, this idea was thought of so quickly. We thought of the idea about 3 weeks ago, and because Christmas was coming up so quickly, we had to get this done quick. It took me about a week to do the storyboards. I did them in full color, and I had to send them to my animator, who animated this whole thing in about a week and a half. The turnaround time was extremely quick, so I had to make sure that I had everything spelled out for my animator, and he turned it around really quick. His name is Jeremy Chinchu, so hats off to Jeremy Chinchu. My producer, Jace Steele, for getting this all organized and taken care of. Thanks to Jace. But here's some of the storyboards I did. I want you guys to check them out. So this first panel is really fun. Obviously, normal Hawkins at Christmas time. I wanted the whole scene to flip over. So we see the Grinch in the Upside Down. By the way, this is my first time ever really drawing the Grinch. I've had him in my head for years and never really got to do anything with him in my other jobs and stuff, so a lot of fun doing the Grinch. Just keeping the movements basic. You guys can still tell a very good story in animation with very few movements. You don't have to have a ton of movement. Just eyes can move, hands can move, arms can move. You don't need to have the whole character moving as long as the story is being told clearly. Storybooks, right? You turn a page of a storybook, there's really no movement at all, but the story's told. So make sure your drawings are very, very clear. Just some of the storyboards are a lot of fun. There's the one here I really like of Winona Ryder and her kids. I had to caricature them. And here's the Grinch trying to break through from the Upside Down into the real world. We had to include the Christmas lights wall, of course, in Winona Ryder's house. Which was a lot of fun. And I also had to include as much Grinch stuff in there as I could, using the Grinch and his dog Max. Remember in the original Chuck Jones cartoon from back in the 1960s? He has a little dog and he tied the antler on his head, and so we wanted to put, of course, the dog moment in here too. So we had to have the demi-dog from season 2. We've incorporated elements from season 1 of Stranger Things, season 2 of Stranger Things, and the Grinch. Let me see what, oh yeah, I also love when the Grinch is sliding the bat with the nails in it out from under Steve's arm as Steve sleeps. His hair is perfect, of course. That's such a great little Chuck Jones move from the cartoon where the Grinch has one finger and he slides out the candy canes in the cartoon, sliding the candy canes out. Really cool. And my favorite moment in the whole cartoon is when the Grinch meets Eleven as Cindy Lou Who. She's Cindy Lou Levin. I laughed when I thought of that. So anyway, I thought that was fun. And of course we got to give her a waffle, the bloody nose, the whole thing. It was a perfect little ending. Just because we didn't have a ton of time to finish a huge, giant, epic episode of Stranger Things Meets the Grinch, we just had Cindy Lou Levin blow up the Grinch at the end. And so that was the fun part. So there you go. So Stranger Things Meets the Grinch. If you guys like this, let me know in the comment section below. Hey Heart fans, Butch Hartman here. I am doing podcasts now because it's a law. You have to. So I'm doing a podcast. That's what the mic is for. I've got a co-host. His name is Jay Steele.
What's up?
All right, we're doing this podcast thing. It's called Speech Bubble. Check us out. You can hear the whole audio of this podcast on Google Play, Apple Podcasts, and SoundCloud. But for now, we're showing some video clips of the podcast right now. And every day we do a new topic. So Jace, what's today's topic?
Today is your Stranger Things review and what you would do for an animated series.
Whoa, and Stranger Things 2 is coming out. So check it out. Roll the theme music.
Speaking of TV shows,
Way to segue.
Segue.
Hi, what do you think about that versatile horse?
no, it was
what's his name?
Brian.
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 What does Brian think?
He's
Next.
like my Dinkelberg. Brian's my Dinkelberg.
Brian's your Dinkelberg.
Brian.
Yeah. We're out of toilet paper. Brian. Exactly.
I'll just blame him for everything. No, speaking of television shows, Stranger Things is coming out this Friday.
Is that a TV show?
Yes.
Never heard of it. What is it?
It's on Netflix.
Oh, what's that?
It's about Eggo waffles.
Eggo waffles.
It's an animated movie about Eggo. No.
I know Eggo waffles because those existed in the 1970s.
Yeah, correct.
No, Stranger Things. In fact, I turned you on to Stranger Things.
Oh,
last
that's
year.
right. I wasn't. Yeah, I remember I saw the trailer and I was like, yeah, maybe I'll see this.
And then I posted on
you
Facebook.
You saw the whole thing.
And I
you
posted
told-
saying,
yeah.
you got to watch Stranger Things. And you're like, what's Stranger Things?
Yeah.
And in your best Jay Steele voice,
forgot about-
hey, what's Stranger Things? You said it like that. And I said, you got to watch this. Yes, I'm super excited about season 2 of Stranger Things, for sure.
So, if you were to make an animated series based on Stranger Things,
Right.
how would that look? I want to get your opinion on that.
Well, first of all, I put Matthew Broderick in it, hands down.
Matthew Broderick.
I'm just joking.
Like,
No, I would.
little
No,
Ferris Bueller crossover.
that's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
We were talking Ferris Bueller earlier.
Yeah, we were.
Actually, Matthew
I was
Broderick.
trying to think. Is he
Matthew
in the
Broderick.
show?
Matthew Broderick would be great, like as maybe an evil scientist. Now he's like
Oh,
he's
totally.
like evil
Yeah.
because Matthew Modine is an evil
Yeah.
scientist.
Oh,
in
that's
that.
what I was thinking of. Yeah.
Yeah,
no,
and Matthew Modine back in the '80s was in like all these teen romance movies, and so to see him now with white hair and stuff, it's like, oh, it's
Matthew Broderick was the voice of Simba in The Lion King, so he's already done a little
There,
voice acting stuff.
there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. And how we got off on Matthew Broderick. Sorry about that. But anyway, no, Stranger Things. I love. Let me just tell you why I like Stranger Things
sure,
in the first place. I like Stranger Things because it's derivative of so many things, yet they made it all completely work. Like the movie Firestarter. That was a Stephen King story back in the 1980s, and Drew Barrymore was this little girl who could start fires with her mind, and she was the victim of a government experiment. And every time she started a fire with her mind, her nose would bleed. Oh, so there's where that comes from.
Okay.
And then you have all the E.T. references, the E.T. feel of that show from Steven Spielberg's E.T., which again they make that work. There's a couple other references in there too that are just there's all the Dungeons and Dragons stuff. There's all the stuff, but I think that really works as a story because the moodiness is great. And then the crossing dimensions thing. I forget what movie that's from, but there's a whole the monster coming through. I don't want to ruin anything, but there's a dimensional crossing.
Spoilers.
thing.
80s spoilers.
Exactly. And also what I absolutely loved, I grew up in that era, and they captured the era of the early 1980s to a freaking T. That is my childhood.
Oh, yeah.
I'm watching this going, that's my bed. Those are the
so
comic
cool.
books I had.
Yeah.
Those are the stupid walkie-talkies I had that never worked. But theirs worked perfectly. That's the cell phone of the 80s was those bad walkie-talkies, But I thought it was a great show, and I thought the way it built as a story was good. Something coming through the dimensions. I'm trying to think where is that reference from? I know I'm missing a reference somewhere.
Sure, there's tons of movies like that. Yeah.
Tons of movies like that. But yeah, they made it all work really well. I thought it was great.
Have you seen any of the trailers for season 2 at all?
I have. I see they.
So they have
they've
Ghostbusters.
They've moved to 84. They have Dragon's Lair as
yeah,
well.
I just saw the trailer yesterday.
Dragon's Lair, the
right there.
video game,
Yeah.
which I have a lunchbox of
on
in this building.
on your YouTube set right there.
I have it right there. But Dragon's Lair. By the way, Dragon's Lair was the first interactive video game. It really was. I mean, I take it back. All video games are interactive. But I'm saying is, it was the first animated Okay, well, Dragon's Lair was the first interactive animated show.
Okay,
Because
yeah.
you'd go to the Dragon's Lair console.
Because you don't really control the characters, do you? You just choose the
No,
story.
you do, but there's pre-animated segments. Like
Yeah,
the lead character is called Dirk the Daring, and Dirk the Daring is this knight, and he's got to go into the Dragon's Lair, this castle, to rescue the princess. Is it Penelope? I forget her name anyway. To rescue the princess, and so it's Dirk going through this dungeon, and like he'll be going through the dungeon, and these bats will come and attack him, and then you have to swing at the bats. You have to move the joystick, and then little lights in the animation show up. So when a light flashes, that's when you move the joystick. And if
cool.
And if you don't move it at the right time, you fail, and another animated clip kicks in of you getting murdered.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Just for the kids.
Yeah, but it's real. The animation. I mean, Don Bluth Studios. I've never been a huge. We'll do a whole podcast on Don Bluth someday.
Cool, yeah.
I used to work for Don Bluth.
That's right. Yeah.
But I admired Don Bluth's technique tremendously, and I think Dragon's Lair and another game called Space Ace that came out. Were his best animation. I just absolutely loved Dragon's Lair. It looks really great. Cool. But I can never get to the end of the game.
You never got to the end of
Because the
Dragon's Lair?
machines never worked, ever. They never worked. And it cost like $1 million to play like 17 rounds of Dragon's Lair, so you couldn't. And they had a giant, like, inside the console. Today it's like we'd have a little tiny disc like this, but they had this giant, silver CD in there, and that would, or a DVD, and that's how you'd play the game.
Cool.
Yeah, that was inside the.
It's cool
the
they
console.
included in Stranger Things. It's like I think they're like monitoring your life. Like they found old baby pictures of you. Like this, we're gonna copy Butch Hartman.
In some way, they did. And again, because I would play Dungeons and Dragons with my friends, like those guys did, and just all the other stuff. And we fought dimensional monsters like those guys did. Every Saturday, a dimensional monster would come through. Wait, that was my dad. Anyway, a dimensional monster would come through and yell at us. No, it was my father. No. Most likely my dad. But no, I'm really looking forward to Stranger Things Season 2. Excited. So, and this is not an ad for Stranger Things. We're just talking nerd stuff.
Oh, yeah. But if Netflix
this is not an ad for Stranger Things at all. But
if Netflix would want to sponsor us,
Netflix
no problem.
Hey, by the way, Netflix, we got a lot of these 5-star reviews. So just, and
70.
Just ask Versatile Horse and Brian. Ask them.
Don't ask Brian. Okay, so if you were going, if Netflix came to you and was
Brian.
like, "I want you to adapt Stranger Things into an animated TV series," like what would your angle be? Like, what would your art style you'd go for? What would you twist it in any way to make it more animated?
First of all, I'd be amazed that Netflix, the company, could speak to me as one collective being.
Yes,
that'd be kind of cool.
It'd be like a 50
giant
voices at one.
It'd be like a giant building with eyes talking. Butch Hartman.
And then
be a Sid Marty Krofft giant puppet face. It's like.
And when they're done talking, it says, "Would you like to continue talking? Yes or no?"
Yes. Beep. Exactly. No. What would I do for a Stranger Things animated show?
Totally on the spot. So
it is on the spot. Well, I think you want to keep it as close to the show as possible. I wouldn't want to make it. I think you'd have to make it a serious show. You'd have to make it. You couldn't.
Yeah, no comedy route.
You wouldn't want to make it like an age 6 to 11 show.
Yeah.
I think you'd have to keep it. For the age group that it's intended for, which is an adult audience, I believe. There's a definite kid slant to it. I do admire the fact they kept it. The way the guys did the show, they kept it very character-oriented.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, it's scary. Yes, there's monsters, but it was all about the characters, and the characters are kids, and they tread very lightly there. They didn't get too dirty or filthy with the kids. As far as having them say horrible things to each other, and they were really respectful of each other, and they really respected that girl they found. They find 11, and they're really respectful of her, and there's a real cool relationship there.
They seem like real kids. It doesn't seem like
it's cool. And what I love about it is they didn't have to go the route of the way everybody else would go, where we would. It's super scary, and it's full of blood, and it's full of just swear words, and it's icky and hard to watch, and you have an icky feeling. Like every time I watch Stranger Things, I didn't have an icky feeling.
No, yeah.
I had a what's going to happen next feeling.
Yeah.
It
felt like Steven Spielberg, where it was almost like awe-inspiring, no matter what mood
you wanted. Right, you want to see more as opposed to going, ugh. Like you and I were talking earlier about Black Mirror, the show.
Oh yeah.
And this is not. I watched Black Mirror and really liked it, but it is hard to get through some of those episodes.
Well, I enjoyed going.
And by the way, I'm not recommending Black Mirror to little kids.
No,
it's a mature show.
I watched one episode. I enjoyed going through the process of watching it, and at the end, I was like, it was such a bummer ending. Like,
which one was it? Which episode?
It was called Nosedive.
Oh yeah, that was one of the tamer ones.
Bryce Dallas Howard. I know.
That's a tame one. So, but anyway, Stranger Things left you wanting more, and I thought was just really cool because it was part horror movie, part sci-fi movie, part I guess I don't like Joe Dante as a director at all, but one of his, it was a part.
Joe Dante Gremlins.
It was kind of Gremlins, and then I love Richard Donner, kind of Goonies.
Definitely
I
Goonies.
didn't care for Goonies very much either because I saw it as an adult, and it didn't play the same for adults as it did for kids back then. But yeah, it was part all that stuff, and it was very derivative, but in a good way. Because look, everything's derivative of something. I'm not knocking the Duffer Brothers at all. Totally admire what they did. I think it's really cool. So what I would do, I'd keep it in that vein. I guess for the animated movie though, I would go into the other dimension, the Upside Down, a lot more.
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah.
Because I think you could do in animation, you could do that. But again, it's almost like an animated movie right now the way it is. It's like it's so imaginative and it's so kind of cool to watch. I don't know exactly what I would do that would be different than what they're already doing. It's like making E.T. the Extraterrestrial as an animated movie. But back in the 80s, they would have done a dumb ABC show where he's like, "Oh, I'm E.T. and this is how you make chocolate chip cookies," and that's how he would have done. Mother, that's how they would have. That's how they would have done that. But now you'd have to make it kind of a serious thing. But I mean, anything can work as long as it's done with the right people making it.
You could make it a comedy and have it like the Demogorgon is a musical.
Exactly. He's misunderstood.
Yeah, he's a misunderstood Demogorgon.
Exactly.
Oh.
It's like I always go back to the show Seinfeld. It's like you have a show about nothing, but it was the #1 show on TV because people who knew what they were doing made it.
Yeah, and they were proud of being a show about nothing.
Oh, it's great. Exactly. That's right. We will do nothing, Jerry. But I think that's why the Demogorgon sounds like Jason Alexander.
Oh, good.
Yeah. No, but I think what we need to do is just make a cool. I think I would probably design Stranger Things to look sort of like almost, I keep going back to anime, almost have an anime vibe to it. I wouldn't make it anime completely, but have that sort of vibe. Sort of like a, have you seen the rock band Gorillaz, the animated show?
Oh, yeah.
The animated band?
Yeah, with their music videos. They're awesome.
I'd make it look like a Gorillaz video.
Cool.
And I think that's kind of what I think it should be.
That's awesome.
And you could also age the characters up or keep them young, which is neat. Because what they're having a problem with Stranger Things is the kids are getting older, and they've got to keep those kids in the show, and so they're gonna have to. I think season 3 will have to be like in 1989 or something because the kids are gonna be a lot older. That's one drawback with working with actual humans is the aging process, which is how we have defeated it here on Speech Bubble because Jace sleeps in a frozen tub every night, and that's how he doesn't age.
Like we said in the last episode, I am a drawing. I'm not real.
You are, and I can erase any part of you. So just be careful, buddy.
Oh no,
exactly.
So
how those 5-star ratings doing? Still doing well? They're dropping.
Oh, we just lost a couple.
Darn it!
No, they're going up. They're going up. I'm sure.
Okay, well, we're hoping we're entertaining you guys at least a little bit. Gosh, I'm flying by the seat of my pants.
Speech Bubble.
Hey, Heart fans, subscribe here to keep up with me, Danny, Timmy, Dudley, Bunsen, and the NOOG Network, my new app full of cartoons, shows, and games. Download it here. Click over here to watch my most recent video, and here to start a playlist related to this video. Whoa, check out that awesome fan art. To be featured here, use hashtag HeartFanArt and tag me. I'm on every social media platform known to man. Cartoon Butch out. Pencil drop.